All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Monday night. You want to share a little about the cruise before we dive into anything else?
How about if I share about the master's call
You can do that.
and do some information? First of all, the published catalogs are available, but only one at a time. They're not doing 10 packs yet. They're working on the production, but they're available for order now. So for those of you, and I know so many of my people prefer the actual catalog instead of the online thing. So I'll be ordering that. And then also the recommendation was to go into your Shackley My Team and My Leads so that there's a list of the people who haven't purchased the Life Shakes in the last 4 months. There's a really big push for Life Shakes. The masters are not agreeing with the fact that Shackley is canceling the energizing soy. So we're struggling with that, but that's why they're doing huge promotions on the Life Shake and the recipes that came through, etc. Vivig's gummies, yeah, we don't know when they'll be available.
Ugh.
They're having a serious issues with consistent stability, and the last product run they had to reject. So
I'll take it.
Yeah,
That's how we feel too, Shirley.
yeah.
I'm
I'll
desperate
take
for
all
the-
the rejects.
That's right.
we have the gels now in the container of the gummies because Liquilia had to have a slightly new formula and will become available soon.
And part of the challenge of that is the previous manufacturer is out of business. So they have to find a new manufacturer and they can't do it quite like it was done for the last 50 years or whatever it's been. So there will be some slight changes, but it will still be basically the same product.
And then the grapefruit energy will be discontinued. They're keeping the raspberry. The
Oh,
grapefruit was not selling. The prenatal meology, you already know, was discontinued because truly it wasn't adequate, and they're putting a bundle together for prenatal instead, which, Vitalia is so far superior to the Vitalia 2s because it didn't have calcium. So I was actually excited about that. My granddaughter changed after the first 2 meology prenatals and she went to the real stuff. The next piece is IVAI powered recommender. I think that's the correct name of this thing. Anyway, it's an IE issue and that they're going to be putting in a button at the right of the web next week. And this upgrades the search feature, which we're all excited about, which means we can start typing a product instead of being precise with a name, and it'll locate the product.
Yay.
There was the other thing. It's going to launch this month.
Well, the
It
other thing they're
also-
doing is if you've ever filled out a meology with Shackley or your customers have, when you start doing searches, it will start recommending products based on the meology results so that you're consistent with what your goals are and all that kind of thing. It's a beta form. It's gonna, it has to go through a learning process over time, and it will take a little bit of time to educate that version of AI. But I think, after maybe 3 to 6 months, we'll all be thrilled with how it makes ease of access on the website for everybody.
Okay, and then they also said that the last date to order before Christmas, if you want items for Christmas, is December 12th. And this one, Shackley has been really working on this for a long time. And recently, Laura Hostetler, why am I spacing the names? But anyway, several of the
Charlene Pike.
Charlene Pike, several of the Shackley Masters went to Congress and went office by office to talk about why it's crucial for us to be independent contractors and not employees. It's the HR 3495
Bill.
bill. Okay, so we're still fighting it. And I don't know what this thing is with the government wanting to control it, but hopefully it'll change. Ed Wang is head of shipping. And so shipping obviously is supposed to be 7 to 10 days standard shipping, VSU at SPS. And it has been a challenge, and they have gotten all of the complaints, and they understand all of the complaints. And they want, if you have damaged product, they want you to call the 1-800 number and specifically give the order number. And if a product was damaged, give the batch number of the product. I mean, it's never an issue about replacing it, but they want to track what happened. And if they have the batch number of the product, they can track it. So if there's an issue with products in any way, whether they're damaged or you didn't feel there were enough tablets in the bottle or whatever you can imagine it to be, call the 1-800. Shackley has a new phone system. And right now, when you call the number, the 3636 number, it automatically shows Shackley who you are and what rank you are.
Okay.
That if you are not a director, they transfer you to the 1-800 number. Okay. And if you are a director, they transfer you to the right person. And depending on your rank, you're transferred to the people that are qualified to answer questions at that rank level for your business or whatever issues you have.
And
We're
it just
really
registered,
excited about that.
it just registered on me. We didn't make the change that we realized we had to make. And I'm gonna do it as soon as we get off of here. But whatever the main number is you have in your profile
Oh, yes.
is how they will recognize you. So if you have a landline in your profile, you're calling from your cell phone, they're not
They
gonna know
won't
who you are.
recognize you.
So you need to put whatever number you typically use, make sure that's accurate in your profile.
And we've canceled our landline, so just
Yeah.
so all of you know, the
Oh,
number is gone.
I have to do that.
And the other question was about the field support staff, and the average field support person has been with Shackley for at least 12 years. They are
Wonderful.
new people coming on board to match the increase in the businesses, but the loyalty, despite the attitudes of some people who call them to complain, they are still there hanging in for Shackley people. Bless their hearts.
They're almost as loyal as our customers.
Right.
Yeah.
Then Amy Lee's handling conferences in Nashville. So for Nashville, if you are on the wait list for Nashville, Shackley has gotten 2 other hotels, and they have gotten special Shackley discounts for those hotels. So the people that are on the wait list will be notified, and they can call and make the reservations to get the discount. And then after those are filled, then they'll open it up to people who at the last minute decide to go.
But one thing to be aware of, you can't dilly-dally if you know that you're gonna go, because Shackley is not buying blocks like they did for the last conference, because they got stuck with over 100 rooms they had to pay for, because a lot of people canceled at the last minute. So what they're gonna do, when they announce the new hotel, you're gonna have 30 days to make your reservation to get the special Shackley rate. And if you don't make it within 30 days, then you're just gonna pay the regular rack rate for that hotel.
And you already know from the email that the main program is going to be done twice, completely like the original. So nobody is in some other room. Everyone gets to be in the main auditorium and see the whole program, which I think is awesome. So really encourage you guys to register and sign up and make that 70th anniversary incredible. The 50th was amazing. So you can imagine what Roger Barnett is going to do for the 70th. And I totally encourage you to come. And obviously we want our team to come. So
Obviously.
we can encourage everybody to be together and rah, rah. We don't have Tracy Horn to do the t-shirts or the whatever she did at one of the
Bomb-bombs,
conferences,
yeah.
bombs or whatever. But at least, having everybody together we would really appreciate it. And I think all of you would really benefit from it. So I think that's all
Does that
from the
cover
master's
everything?
call.
Okay, one other sort of a training thing that Scott suggested I go over tonight is PTV and PCV. What- as you're bringing new people in, if you're either dream plan or you're going to bring people in who will always be in the new plan, those are numbers that are going to be crucial, because for qualification for director, anybody who is building a business in the new plan has to have 2000 PTV. That's team volume. Okay. Team volume is different than all of your normal group
Yeah.
volume as we have always thought about it. Team volume is all of your customers, all of your first level ambassadors and their customers. And that's it. Okay, so you've got to have 2000 from your personal group of customers, first level ambassadors, and their customers. So if you had a second level ambassador or third level who's doing great, guess what? Their volume doesn't count toward your 2000 PTV to become a director. So just be aware of that when you're bringing in new people who express an interest in the business and you have to sit down and explain to them, what does it take to be a director? It takes 2000 PTV, not PGV, like we've always thought about it.
So Roland, and at one of the meetings, they were talking about sponsoring people first level and moving them under the person who referred them. So you can be paying bonuses for them if they qualify for bonuses. And when they get close enough that they really can be making money as ambassador, then you upgrade them to ambassador. And those people will move up to be first level to them.
And there are several people that are sort of gaming the system that way, but we had a fascinating conversation with Albert and Lori Ramos. And if you do that, the people you're bringing in who express an interest in ultimately becoming a director and doing the business will not get star bonuses.
Right.
And the reason that maybe that's a really bad idea is because they have two people, one of whom in her first year earned $31,000 in just star bonuses on top of the normal Shackley bonus and everything else. And they had another one that earned $18,000 in just star bonuses. So if you have somebody who's really serious about the business, do not game the system. Let them participate the way they're supposed to participate, because those star bonuses can be a huge, huge immediate income for people. And what motivated those people was the fact that, guess what? They got paid every single week as they were doing that. And the fact that this one gal was earning almost from day one, $2,500 a week in star bonuses, she was seriously motivated to grow.
And this is for every one of the plans.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which plan you're in.
Every one of
Legacy,
you can be
Dream,
doing
New
that.
Plan, everybody can be doing that. So realize that that is for people who, and the conversation was really interesting because Albert and Lori have been recruiting a lot of young people, Gen Zers. What did Gen Zers want?
Money.
Immediate money. And star bonuses are the one place they can have money in their pocket the first week they're in this business. And the other thing, in fact, you remember that survey that I shared that Heather
Chastain. Chesting.
consulting company had put together several months ago. One of the things they found is that Gen Zers have no belief that they can build a big business and have a high income. So if we start out, for 50 years, basically, I have always talked about the big picture. Well, the reality is that a lot of these younger generations, they can't ever imagine themselves doing what so many people in Shackley have done. And if you start out like that before you really understand where they're coming from, they turn off, they won't believe a word you say, and they are gone. But the one thing they understand is money in their pocket every single week. So when Albert sits down with somebody who has expressed an interest in the business, he always starts by saying, now we can have two different conversations. We can have a conversation about how you can earn $500 a month, or we can have a conversation about how you can earn $5,000 a month. Which one of those would you like to have? So he gets a sense of, is this a person who can't even see the big picture and just wants to talk about 500? Then that's what he talks about.
He's willing to
And he
work for
shows,
it.
yeah, and shows them how they can earn star bonuses. They can have money in their pocket immediately. If it's somebody who can see the big picture and talk about earning 5,000 a month, now he talks about building a team, teaching other people, mentoring other people. But the reality is we need to know who we're talking to before we stick our foot in our mouth and turn them off for it before anything else happens.
We're gonna have Ramos's on the next lifestyle call.
Yeah.
Good.
There'll be,
In fact, Scott had an hour and quarter conversation with them about lots of stuff, but obviously about what they're going to do on that call on that particular Monday night. And I'm really excited about having them on. They are just a dynamic couple. Really, really good. The other sort of thing everybody needs to understand, if you're in Dream Plan, remember, supposedly as of June 1st of this year, you had to have 500 PCV to maintain your directorship. That's customer volume. And customer volume is not all of your customers. It's only people you have sponsored first level. And that's kind of a sticking point for all of the masters. They delayed
still
it till
struggling
June
with
of next
Jackie on
year. We're still beating up on Roger over this to just grandfather in Dream Plan directors so they don't have to deal with it. But you got till June, so why not just go ahead and grow your business and then you don't have to worry about it. So
in the meantime, you'll get star bonuses
in the
if you
meantime,
start
you get star
sponsoring.
bonuses.
That's
So
right.
that's kind of how the whole thing works. So anyway, that's the business stuff I thought we would throw at you tonight. Talk a little bit about
Well,
Alaska.
Alaska. So I think the really Yes.
Ryan has a question.
Yeah, try not to interrupt too much, but thanks,
Oh.
Laura. I appreciate it. Back to the conversation with the Ramos couple, Scott mentioned it to me as well. He presents as two options, not three, which we've typically seen. So are you more interested in making 500 a month or 5,000 a month? But he does not add that third one. Would you like to cover your health, or would you like to cover your Shackley investment, your supplements?
Well,
Is that
he would include the third one if it was the first conversation. But if somebody has expressed an interest in making some money, then those are the two options he gives them.
got it? Okay, cool.
Okay, thanks.
So I think I mean, you already heard the connection. We spent a lot of time with Ramos's and
The other masters.
gave and of course made the connection for Scott so that he could prepare for the call and the interview that he's got and learn. And we had the master's call. Actually, Roland set up the huge screen for us in a meeting room, so we had the master's call on the big screen, so to speak, and really could see everybody and they could see us. Celebrated Joyce Hoffman's 91st birthday. And she is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Everyone bows when she strolls by with her little thing.
In her car, in her wheelchair.
Yeah.
Many of the people that were there sat at her feet asking questions and chatting with her.
That's good.
It was a wonderful opportunity. And it was just an opportunity for the masters that were there to really visit with each other, share ideas, and talk about some of the things. And I actually started talking about next year's trip. And one of the trips that came up is doing the ship on Mississippi.
Yeah, doing a
so-
riverboat cruise on the
riverboat
Mississippi.
cruise. So
Good.
we'll see what happens with that, but the connections that were made, the people that weren't even that were there, were already excited about coming next year and bringing people. A gal that brought a friend, the friend's excited to get on board with Shackley, and she hadn't been until then. So it was really, it was a wonderful trip. We only had two meetings, so to speak, and then we had a master's meeting, and then we just hung out together and had snacks and champagne, prosecco, a lot of prosecco.
Basically, we ate and drank for 6 days. We both
No.
just come home weighing 10 pounds more, and Aldana only gained half a pound, and I only gained 1. I don't know how that
I
happened.
don't need it, but it was a big ship, and the observation deck was beautiful and really relaxing, and not very many people flooded into that like they did in some of the other areas. So it was
Yeah.
really nice. I got to see the glaciers, which I'd never seen. Of course, Rick had seen them because he climbed the mountains. We were sad because we had booked a
Whale watching.
whale watching tour with an Eskimo committee, and a storm came up and it got canceled. So we missed that one, but the scenery was spectacular. And of course, it's nice and warm, Shirley, on the ship.
I know.
You don't have to go out to see the glacier. I sat in the observation room and watched it beautifully with my glass of wine.
With the ship.
So it was definitely so worth it, and we're already committed to the next trip because of the value that we got out of it with brainstorming and sharing, and they had a Q&A in the last session. They had a Q&A. Everybody had an opportunity to ask questions and share. And Anthea Tripp, I don't know, like Shirley might remember Anthea. She and I were on the
Yeah.
Soul committee.
Trip. Yeah.
She and her hubby were there, and they're committed already because they felt like they got so much value out of it. So I kind of put that as seed planting to you guys, and
Okay.
we enjoyed it.
So why
And we're
not
going.
think about treating yourself to a fun trip that's tax deductible?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the cruise is such a great venue.
Found out it had a lot of value.
All right, well, that's all we got for you impromptu tonight. So any other questions before we call it a night?
I'm glad because I didn't understand people.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I have a question about the Vivix, because it's in the life strip. So will that be discontinued out of there?
The gels are available.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
they are. Oh, good. I like those better.
It's the chews that aren't available, which
Oh, gotcha.
all day long. So now we have to make sure we go get swallowed.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
So does Shackley have a different manufacturer for the chews and then the liquid and then the ones that the little gels are all different manufacturers that have to follow different guidelines?
Manufacturers absolutely hate Shackley.
Yeah, finding somebody that'll meet our standards is a very difficult thing to do.
I bet. And how is the water pitchers coming? I miss my water pitcher.
It's not there.
You're never gonna see
We're
them
never
again.
going to see them again.
Well,
Yeah,
what's
it's-
everybody using for filtered water now? What?
There's
I have a stash of filters for a while.
we do too. We do too. There's
You
some
shouldn't have admitted that.
I know.
All right, I'm like a hop, skip, and a jump from you, Shirley.
Well, you can come.
I'll be
anytime
right over.
you bring me Prosecco and I'll give you water.
Oh, there you go.
We need to catch up. We do. I'm
You have a
coming.
question?
Mm.
I have,
Leave the
I
front
have a
door
comment.
unlocked.
Go ahead.
In the South, of course, that's where, particularly Georgia, that's where the muscadine grapes are grown. I just noticed in our local stores, I don't know if this is just in the South or not, but maybe y'all can look as well as I did. They now have baskets of muscadines on sale at our grocery store. I have never had them before, and they're delicious. And I suggest if you can find any, eat the whole thing, the seeds and all, because that's the pieces that Roger paid a lot of money for. But maybe look in your stores. They are available here in the South.
Huh.
So we all ought to be chewing on some.
The only one that's privileged.
Yeah.
Well, Sheila can get them and Joanne can get them. So anyway, we might have to make a,
Guys are in the South.
The South.
yeah, I know, but maybe we'll have to ship some to the north.
Oh, well, that sounds really good, Shirley.
Yeah.
Idea. So.
All righty, gang. Good to see y'all.
Good to
Okay.
see y'all
Nice to
too.
see you
You
too.
all.
Thanks.
Night.
Bye, Gwen.
Bye,
Bye,
Shirley.
Laura.
Bye,
I don't-
Shirley.
Hello,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.